Let's dive a little bit into the foreign tax credit. Tell me a little bit more about that, and maybe if you wouldn't mind providing an example.
So it can reduce the amount of U.S. tax you owe dollar for dollar based on the amount of a foreign tax that you pay. And you calculate the foreign tax credit on Form 1116. The way the foreign tax credit works is you pay whatever is the highest tax rate between the two countries, but it's just a question of how it's divided and how much does each country get. And that helps you avoid double taxation. So in some, it's when you have to pay some income tax to a foreign country and you use that tax you paid to reduce your US tax. That's all reported on Form 1116.
Now, does the foreign tax credit, does that apply to all of our income, including perhaps retirement income or investment income? How does that work?
Well, the foreign tax credit does if you have foreign income that is taxed and you pay tax on it, but it's not quite that easy. So that's why help of a professional really can benefit somebody. So you have to take that income and you have to divide it into different buckets or different categories. So you have to take your earned income, which is like your salary or your wages or your self-employment, and put it in one category on one form 1116 that's filed with your tax return, and you need to determine how much foreign tax you paid on your salary. And then if you have investment income like interest, dividends, rents, capital gains from selling stocks for a profit, for example, you put that in another category on a separate form 1116. And you need to determine out of all the foreign tax you paid, how much tax was paid for that investment income. And then you calculate it that way. You know, it's not just all of your foreign income and all of the foreign taxes that you paid. You got to do a little extra work. You got to divide it into different categories, and then you have to determine how much of that foreign tax that you paid goes to each different category, and then you got to go through a number of different calculations, and that's when it starts getting a little bit complicated, and that's where we can really help, because that's something we do day in and day out for our expat clients.